very crunchy.
No. Mm.
Like, you know, at a restaurant when you get what's it called nachos
Yeah.
with like all the works. Yeah, it's like the restaurant style chips. So they're like super super crunchy, so they don't get like soggy when you put all that stuff on them.
Yeah.
Got it from my sister's work because they since they shut down, they just gave out like all the perishable stuff to the workers.
Hmm. So, okay. So back to what I was saying before. So
Oh yes.
about um, it's like I've talked to like quite a few people about this already. It's because like
Hmm.
honestly, for the past few days, I've been like fucking. I've just been dying inside.
Oh.
I know that sounds strange, but like, you know,
Oh.
I told you about my ex-girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I was,
Did you?
I,
Oh, no.
Natasha, I was head over heels for her. I was like
Hmm.
18 in the military,
Hmm.
so I was like, I fell in love with her. I fell in love with this girl, and
Hmm.
then for after we broke off, it was so fucking difficult for me, and then I had to make a hard choice to just cut her off. I had to cut
Hmm.
her off. I did because I knew it's just gonna torment me because I knew I'm never gonna be with that person again.
Yep.
And I gave my heart out to her and everything. I wanted to be her shield and protector of everything. Now those feelings, obviously, they're gone. They're completely gone. I don't have that anymore. These are just
Yeah.
memories, right? It's been
The
so
general
long.
rule is how long you're with somebody, divide that by two. That's how long it takes to get over them fully.
Yeah, it took me a bit longer than that, but yeah, I know I agree with that. So, and it took me a long time to get over her,
Yep.
but
How long were you guys, or how long were you with her?
almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So, but it did take more than the 2 years for me to get over.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, I created such a bond with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
I created, like, we did everything together almost every single day. I would literally go from high school, wake up early at 6 in the morning, take a bus, go to high school, take all my clothes with me. Gotta take the bus from Burlington after high school, wait 45 minutes for the bus, take it 15 minutes to the go, wait 40 minutes for the go train, take the go,
Mm-hmm.
take 15 minutes to fucking Union. Union takes another 30 to 40 minutes to Finch. From Finch, take a YRT, which took another 30 minutes to like get to fucking Richmond Hill, and then a 15-minute walk to her house. That was a one-way trip, and I did that every single weekend, twice a weekend, just so I can see her,
Mm-hmm.
because I cared that much about her. And then we broke it off, and I had to make the hard call. Like, I wanted to get back with her. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that because of what we had so deeply, we were both each other's first love. And that's a strong thing. And I was, did it with her for the first time.
Yeah. You were young,
And with
dumb,
her,
and full of
with,
cum.
with her and myself, right? So,
Yeah.
so it created not just a loving bond, but also a chemical bond in the brain, what science says anyway, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Not that that matters much to me. I care about the heart, the bond of the heart. That's what made it so difficult, is because I created such a history with her almost every single day. And I had to make such a hard choice to just let that go.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew it wasn't going to happen, and I was living in a euphoria
Mm-hmm.
with her in my mind. And it played on loop every single time. Now, since
You gotta be
then,
realistic at one point.
yeah, I know, but I had to go through all that hard times to learn my lessons,
Yeah.
right? But now I have those lessons,
Yep.
right? I engraved them. I made the mistakes. I learned from the mistakes. I went out on my way to read books, to go to therapy, not to for my therapy personal sake, just to get answers to things I didn't know, right? I talked to people, dozens of people, made phone calls to people with advice and everything, because I did not want to go through that same situation ever again, and I wanted to be the best person I can in my next relationship. And honestly, I've been on dates, I've been with girls here and there throughout that time. I'm not going to lie about that. But I have yet to meet somebody that I could say compared to my past relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of nowhere, this year, when I told myself, you know what? I'm not going to look for anybody. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not gonna seek any attention from anyone. I want to focus on my business. I want to focus on my job. I want to get my life together. And I made a promise to myself that, you know, do what you need to get yourself stable before you open up the doors to anyone else. But that doesn't mean I can't be open to anyone and be who I am, be myself, and love people and so on. And I did say, well, you know, if somebody does come around and you have this strong feeling, maybe still take a chance, because maybe that opportunity will never be there again if you don't.
Yep.
Right? You can't just put, you know...
Take the opportunity, but don't fully, like, emotionally invest, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So...
See where it goes.
Yeah.
But
so,
keep doing you at the same time. Like, you're doing good. Always keep doing good on that part of your life.
Yeah, and that's what I want to do. I honestly, you know me, you and I talked about it many times. I want to be a real man, because real men today almost don't exist. They either take advantage, they're selfish, they don't stand up for their morals, they don't stand up for what they actually personally believe in. Their convictions shift consistently. I can't say it for everyone. Everyone's different.
A lot of people do, though.
But a lot of
or they
people
don't even think for themselves. Like Blake, he never thinks for himself.
Yeah.
Never notice how you have a conversation with him, he just tries to
Yeah,
fill in the blanks of everything you say before you even, like, say it, and then it's completely, like, always wrong.
It's off. I mean, he doesn't.
Or you say something and then he just, like, agrees. He's like, yeah, I know. And it's like...
yeah. It's, he lacks that intellectual ability to just kind of actually
Think
hold
for
a
himself,
decent conversation for himself. Right?
Yeah, yesterday he was, because I was talking with him yesterday about, like, how people just regurgitate stuff that they hear.
Yeah.
And I think it started with him saying, the whole thing is like, oh, I hate when people here say, oh, the Mexicans are taking all their jobs and stuff. And I'm like, that's one of those regurgitating talking points that a lot of people say, right?
Yeah.
And I called him out for that. Then I explained to him, like, you know what? They don't actually mean, like, Mexicans are coming to America and taking their jobs. They mean, like, what's called import and export taxes are too much for companies. So it's a lot cheaper to produce in Mexico than it is in the States. And that's what they mean by Mexicans are taking their jobs.
Yeah. But hey, man, they do put themselves in a class where they are very good at what they do. I'm not like, they are good at what they do.
Yeah.
Although, of course, people make jokes about
Yeah.
it. But
And they're willing to do it for so cheap on top of it, too.
Yeah.
So yes, they are taking people's jobs.
yeah. Why not pay for
Jobs where people used to get paid pretty well for.
Why not
and they
pay
would
for
gladly do.
good labor and good skills, right? You get 2 out of 2. So, going back to that with Ali, is like, I haven't had that feeling in a long time. I thought I did, but I was mistaken. But it wasn't to that extent. And then, out of nowhere, after I stopped focusing on looking and start focusing on inside again, and then that in turn shows outward, then she comes around out of nowhere. I mean, yeah, it might have been through social media of some sorts, but at the same time, it's like, beyond that social media, it's still a person, and that person still has values, they have convictions, they have beliefs, they have their life. You can't ignore that they're still human, they're still a person with a soul. And I'm like telling myself, okay, you know what, don't do it, don't, like, just focus on yourself. But then something deeper down is like, you know what, Gabriel, just take a chance and go for it, because you never know what can happen. It may not always be the best time, but at the same time, life does this stuff for you for unknown reasons, and you will never know unless maybe you go forward with it. So I decided to go forward with it, and I started talking to her, and one thing led to another, and then at some point we went out on a date. And she did say that she's told me some stuff she doesn't tell really much anybody else, or other people don't really know, which I take that to value, because I respect that. You know, I'm not going to go, you know, blasting whatever that information is to other people, because that's something she told me personally. And it's the same thing back there, you know. I was talking to her about some stuff. I don't normally talk to people. The only people that really know are those that I actually trust and have, like, you know, full connection with. Like, I can literally talk to you about anything, because I also know your level of intellect and your emotions can easily like, you could actually provide such value to any kind of conversation I can have with you, and I value that in you, because it takes a good amount of effort in your life to get to that point. You you strived for it, you worked hard for it. And I know she's a young, smart, she's funny, and just lovely, big-hearted young lady, right? And
Big heart, big bumps.
So, but then I told myself, like, you know what, Gabriel? It's been a very long time since something like this has happened. Like, where you actually feel like this could actually be something real. But take it easy, take it slow. So
Yeah.
I wasn't rushing into it. So I planned our dates. We talked about haunted stuff. So I took her to a haunted house, and then we went to like a glow in the dark mini putting. And then after that, she told me that she loves breakfast. She just absolutely loves breakfast. So
Dude, who doesn't love breakfast?
Right? So
Wake up and eat.
For our dinner, we had breakfast.
No.
Right? I found a restaurant in downtown that has 24/7 breakfast, and I gotta, do something that she really likes. And then
I gotta.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta remember the name in Burlington. There's like that little crepe shop. They make like the best
Dimitri?
crepes I've ever had. I think so.
Yeah, they're good at.
It's like the really popular one.
Yeah. No, they're really good too. So, on the dates, I'm very attentive to detail. Like, I literally analyze everything, but I do it naturally. Like, I'm not doing it where it's, oh, so sophisticated. She did this. No, it's just like, oh wow, she did that. I'm like, that's incredible.
Oh.
I love being around her. And then we started opening up to each other. The more we spent more time with each other, even if it was on just one single date. For the first time, like, we started opening up about stuff. We didn't have endless conversations. There wasn't any awkward moments. There wasn't any moments where, like, oh, there's a pause. It's like, what do I say? It was fluent. And then, we went to go drive around to see some really nice homes in the evening, and then we were just like imagining.
Even like us,
fantasizing.
we don't have pauses.
Yeah, it's
like we don't have pause in conversation. We just keep talking about anything.
Yeah,
See, basically, what you got to look for is me with long hair. There you go.
Dude, and okay, it sounds really funny. She's honestly, she's that type of person. She can have a conversation. She's smart. She's intellectual. It's like she has so much virtues that I admire in another person, and that created even more of a connection. And I'm not saying I was like falling for her on the first date. No, I knew myself, and I know myself very well. It's not hard to fall for anybody in this world. It really isn't. But having the restraint to not fall for somebody but still get to know them takes a considerable amount of willpower.
Yeah, that's tough.
Right?
You really got to get to know the person as a friend first.
And that's kind of what we did. We got to know each other more as a friend basis than just right off the bat relationship. Yeah. Oh, you're so cute, all that. No, that didn't happen.
Yeah, because when people do that, that's all that becomes, Yeah. And that becomes very stale really quick.
Definitely agree with that. Because then you're just jumping things all the time. But no, we slowly opened up about stuff. I'm already an open person, but I'm not just gonna lay my life down on the line, shouting everything I have about me to you. I still want to keep mystery. I still want to keep things natural. I still want to keep things surprising and you guessing. So we went on our first date, and during the mini putt, then we started to get a little bit closer. Like, maybe she would kind of get close to me and lean on my shoulder, or she would kind of poke me a little bit, or just
you just poke her back with your
okay, just relax there.
Putter. What?
My putter? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go. We'll go there. And then I felt so comfortable, and I did a little bit back too, and then we just had such a good time. We had a good time. We were competitive with one another, and it just went by so smoothly. And then after that, we went downtown. But first, we were in a parking lot, actually, before we went to the mini putt. And funny enough, in the parking lot, there's an IKEA, the mini putt, there's a huge snowbank, and then there's a car. And this car was bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down. Right? It just wouldn't stop. I was thinking at first, I'm like, okay, this car is like, it's on or something. But I'm like, no, the closer you look, the closer you know exactly what's going on. So she was in the passenger seat, and, she would do little things like, and you would know this as a person yourself, like little things like she would take her whole body posture and just face it towards me, and I would do the same. That goes to show that the person's genuinely interested in giving their full attention to you. But then we were also distracted because of that damn car. And I'm not kidding. I could not stop looking at it, and she couldn't stop
hydraulics.
She couldn't stop looking at it either, right? And we were just creating like these moments, and it's like, okay, you know, I really want to talk to you, but like, I'm damn fucking focused on this damn car bouncing up and down because you just don't see it all the time. And she's like, I know, right? She's like, I just can't stop seeing it. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, the bouncing's happening in the back seat. So I can only imagine a car bouncing up and down in that back seat is somebody's riding on top of the other person. And because they have tinted windows, they could probably see us staring at them. But we couldn't exactly see it. Still, we were just like so like just mesmerized.
Nah,
with
there's
this thing
clearly
bouncing.
just somebody testing out a pogo stick on a trampoline there.
Anyway, and then we just enjoying each other. And then we went in for mini putting, and then we just had such a good time. And then after we went to the restaurant, and we were just talking about a lot of stuff. And dude, remember how I told you I absolutely just fucking hate coffee?
Yeah.
I dread it. I hate coffee so damn much. I will
Weirdo.
never want to drink it.
Weirdo.
But I don't know how. I told her that I don't like coffee at all. Like, I hate it. But she loves coffee. And she took her cup of coffee, she slid it across the table. She says, here, try it. I don't know what came over me. I still was hesitant, but I felt comfortable trying something I didn't like with her. I still didn't like the taste, but it was bearable. Right? I didn't say that it was bearable to her. I kept that to myself, but she is the only person who has ever gotten me to try coffee. Ever. And to me is kind of a shock because I can easily say no to something. Easily.
I can peer pressure you.
Yeah. So, and I'm like thinking, and after that whole, after the coffee thing, what goes on in my mind, even though we're still talking, I can still think of things in my mind. I'm thinking like, wow, I actually damn fucking tried coffee. Like nobody's ever gotten me to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is she casting some damn spell on me? Like, what is this like? Anyways, after we ate, we had this breakfast thing. It was great, and then we were just smiling, and I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and you can tell when you look at somebody's eyes, they don't hide a damn thing. If you know how to read somebody's eyes, they will tell you everything about what that person's feeling. Hence the saying, like, you can look into the eyes of the soul of somebody.
Dude, when you look in her eyes and all you see is exactly what she's thinking, she's like, I feel so gassy.
Look into my eyes. But
give her,
yeah.
Just give her some Pepto.
Here's some Pepto.
That's
I
like
see it in your eyes. You're gonna
night
fart.
It's a perfect night right there.
Right. But it's like I look into her eyes, and the thing is, like, when you do that, you have that with your girlfriend. You'll have moments where you look into her eyes and you just know what they're feeling.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult. The eyes just give away so much. It's the way they are, the way they show themselves, the way they shine in the light. I don't know. Something about the eyes is so mystical. It's impressive, and it's a shock at moments. And when I would look at her, like, I can feel I can feel what she's feeling in that moment, and it's incredible. It's a great feeling, and it made me feel even more. And I know she felt it. I know she did. And it's not. If I'm completely wrong, then I'm an idiot. But eyes just don't lie.
Yeah.
And then after we ate, we both wanted to go to the washroom. We went down the stairs. And actually, even before that, we were talking about and making some jokes like, oh, I used to be able to hold people, and I used to be able to hang on my arm. And then she was saying something about her workplace, about her boss, saying that their boss was able to do the same thing, and she would hang off, or others employees would hang off his arm, and it was fun. So, and then we went down to go to the washroom. As we finished,
you flex and you're like, swing.
Yeah. And as we went down the stairs, and we both, finished what we were doing, I looked at her as I was walking towards her, And as she's about to take her first few steps up the stairs, I said, "Hey, Allie, this is completely random, but I want to see if I can lift you up." Right? So she immediately threw her arms out forward, no questions asked, and I could pick her up. And as I put her down gently, there was like a moment there, and we had a first kiss.
Oh.
Right? And it felt real, and I was happy about it. Like, I kind of leaned in, and then she leaned in too.
Oh.
It just wasn't like a one-way thing. She went in too, and I know she felt good about that. And then after that, we went to the car, and from the car, we drove all the way up back to where, I'm staying. And then we stayed in the car, and we talked for a bit. And then, we had our moments and about whatever. And then I started doing this thing with her because I felt being comfortable with her. As you start getting touchy a little bit with somebody. There's a spot on the back of both a man and woman's head, but for a woman, it's a sensitive spot. Not for everyone. But
yeah, that's the
it's
spot
like...
that you hit with a brick if you want to knock it out.
Oh, sorry. But I would take my thumb, and it's like near the occipital ridge, that little bone that pokes out the back. Yeah, it's like that from the neck, base of the neck, going up to that point. It's like a sensitive spot. If you know how to just, rub it right or touch it right or massage it right, like, it's a good spot. So I started subconsciously doing that with her, and she really enjoyed it. She really enjoyed it, because I used to do massages for people, not all the time, but I did. So I developed, I guess, a skill set in that type of thing, and I know how to loosen my hands up. So I was doing that, and she always enjoyed it. And then, she would look at me, and then I would, have my hand kind of pull, how guys like pull the hair back around their ear, and then you just sometimes graze your hand across their cheeks and kind of like touch their nose a little bit or pinch their chin.
Sounds good. Doesn't work apparently.
But I was doing that with her, and she seemed to enjoy it. She would close her eyes and smile and just enjoy the moment. It's like those little moments, to me, they matter so damn much, because it's real. It's not something you just fake. You can see it, you can feel it, everything. So that was our first date. Then second date, we were talking still, getting to know each other even more. I mean, she's not the type to always reply every day, and we would have like an hour conversation just consistently. No, she has a damn busy schedule. She works incredible hours, and congratulations for her, because it takes a lot of effort to get to that point. She's a successful young lady, and I'm proud of that about her.
Independent black woman who need no
independent man, you got that gravy, gonna cook that shit. No man. So, anyways, so she's got.
Did she know that side of you yet?
I don't know. She hasn't seen that side of me, because, and I don't know if I'll get that chance. This is the story that I'm kind of telling you right now. So, and then after we talk a while, then I made a second date, and I enjoy the planning. I love making plans, but making it kind of mysterious. So the next time we saw us, I told her, no, you know what, this time I'm going to come to you. I'm going to pick you up, right? And I felt the need to want to make pancakes for her family, because she knows that I cook. We talked about that. And so I made crepes, and I rolled it with peach jam and strawberry jam.
Crepes.
Yeah. So I told her I can pick her up. But I don't want to like be pushy where like, I want to pick her up at her house or anything. Like, if she wasn't comfortable with that, if she wasn't comfortable with that, I can go pick her up somewhere else. But then I didn't want her to leave her car somewhere where she'd get a ticket. I don't know the town area, so I guess she found a spot where she can leave her car for the whole day. And then I went there. I didn't bring the pancakes until late in the evening, but then we had this breakfast at this breakfast place, this mom and pop place, and then we drove all the way down to Toronto, and we were having like good conversation. I was holding her hand in the car. She's holding my hand too, and
it's a safety hazard.
It's a safety hazard. 2 hands on the wheel. Nope. So we're driving down, and then
at least it's a dick on the wheel. At least
you have a third arm.
Your third arm. 3 hands out, penis.
Yeah. And then I decided to take her to the very top of the CN Tower. Right, and there we went around the CN Tower, went on the glass floor, and we took a picture of our feet on the glass floor, and She's getting funny text messages from her mom and telling her about what's going on. Maybe some friends, I don't know. And then we went to the very top, that sky pod, the very top of the sky pod. You can literally see everything in Toronto. And it's not a big space up there. You can literally walk around the whole radius of that in probably 5 seconds. 5-10 seconds. Like, it's not that big, but there's enough space for enough people to move around. And we literally spent like 2 hours up there. We spent 2 hours up there because we would look at one part of the city and just look down at the cars, and then, she'd be leaning on the railing. I'd be like, I'd wrap myself around from the backside and leaning on the railing as well, and she'd have her arms on top of mine, and my head next to hers, and we just look down and talk about stuff. And she, I guess, really enjoyed the moment because she was saying that it's funny how just looking at cars from up here is fascinating, and just it's actually for some reason enjoyable to watch. So we spent literally 2 hours just slowly going around the whole top part and just looking down at the city and cars and talking about anything. And that to me was like a strong moment, because there's moments where we didn't need to talk at all, and we were just looking down and about. Right? So it's like having those moments. And then after that, I wanted to do something fun, so we went to a place called the Adult Rec Room. It's called the Rec Room. I don't know if you ever heard that.
The Rec Room, don't they have like laser tag and stuff?
They got like laser tag, bowling, axe throwing. They got arcade. They have a restaurant there, pools and ping pong. Right. Unfortunately, the one that has the bowling and the axe throwing is the one in Mississauga. The one I went to was right across the CN Tower, which was very convenient. It's too bad I didn't have those things. But
sorry, the Rec Room here is like right across my work, or my old work anyways.
I want to go there. I mean, I don't want to go there now. But anyway.
On Corona?
So, and then we had fun, man. Like, we had played games. We were competitive with her, and I made like a bet with her. I'd never bet, to be honest. I don't know what made me feel like betting with her, but I just never bet.
You just get all competitive for her. Men are superior.
Yeah, so I told her, I'm like, okay, you know what? We'll have a little competition. If you beat me, I'll give you the permission. You can ask me to say or do any one thing that you want, and I'll do it.
She's like, eat me out. I like this.
I'm here trying to like express so much, and you're here, eat her out. Fucking go. No, but that's what I enjoy about you. You like bring humor too. I bring the humor
Comic
when we
relief,
talk and shit. Yeah. So, and
I always ruin the moment.
Damn, she was like competitive, man, and I enjoy that. We both broke the high score on the Pac-Man machine. Like the score was like 8,000 points. We made like 40. We made like 48,000 points. Like, think about that, dude. Like, I don't know how, but the rounds kept going and going and going. And we're looking at each other. Like, she beat me quite a bit, and I beat her sometimes. And then I would be dead, and then she would be alive, continuing to do it. I'm
just beating each other,
encouraging her on to like, yeah, you can do it, Ali. And then she'd beat it again, and then it's like wondering, why is this game not ending? Why are we still alive?
Because when you're in love, the moment feels like it never ends.
Jeez. So, and then finally we beat it, right? And then we see it like, damn, we actually created a fucking huge record on this machine. Like, I don't know if anybody else is gonna be able to beat that. And then she would look at me every time she beat me with like that, like a cute smile, like, I beat you. Like, it just made everything feel so good. I felt like for the first time in so fucking long, things were actually going good. Like having a connection with somebody. Because I'm very picky when it comes to people. I don't just pick and choose. Oh yeah, here, this. Oh yeah, here. No. Like, I have a certain amount of like, restraint when it comes to just seeing who I'm gonna dedicate myself to.
Yeah.
There's a difference between I can dedicate myself to helping people and dedicating myself where I feel like I can be their shield in their life. I can be that person that will go through hell and back, through a pit of sharks, through walking on lava. I don't know, whatever it is. Even though lava will hurt my freaking feet. Like, I'm not gonna have feet. I'm gonna be paraplegic and have scoliosis after that. But I mean, guess what? I'll do it. Wear prosthetic rubber feet, like, you know, the hobbits in Lord of the Rings. No, that's what I start to get the feel for her. Not that I was falling for her, but because of the slow process of getting to know her, it just felt so natural and it felt so real. And this feeling just started like building and building and building. Now, thinking about it now, maybe it was just a one-sided thing, and if it is, I have to accept that. But going back to the eyes thing and the way she was with me, she wasn't hiding herself. She wasn't hiding who she was. She wasn't lying about how affectionate she was with me in person. Like, those were her actions. Those is what she did around me. That's what she felt comfortable around me to do. She opened up. Of course, I can't speak for her. I don't know what she was feeling in those moments, but you know, there's a weird thing in the world, and it's called energy, and you can pick up the energy that people give off. The energy I picked off from her felt genuine, like genuine.
You said so weird.
Yeah, I know, genuine.
Like a girl named Jen out of Berkeley, she whines too much. Jen, you whine.
Genuine.
Genuine, bitch.
So it felt genuine, right?
Okay.
And then we would do all these arcades, and then afterwards we wanted to see if maybe we get something to eat, but the restaurant was so packed it'd take an hour of waiting. And we played some pool, and we sat on the couch, and you know, again, another little thing she did is she kept getting some messages on her phone, so she either put her phone to silent and she put it in her purse, and then she'd sit on the couch leaning towards me, and then we'd just talk with one another.
Yeah.
And you just share those incredible moments. And yeah, and then
people not interested. They wouldn't put their phone. They'd be on their phone instead.
yeah, she put her phone away.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, maybe to people that are like, oh yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, maybe not always mean anything, but it's still something. I mean, if the cool thing is, like, when we're together, she's like never on her phone, ever on her phone. She might glance at it here and there, but that was it. Or if she wanted to write a message when I was standing with her because she wanted to share like what we were doing or something, or I don't know, that's fine. But I would say 99% of the time she's just never on her phone. She just let it go. She just let it go off, or have it vibrate, and that's it.
Popping off.
And yeah, so we didn't get food at the restaurant, so I decided to go to the distiller district because I heard there's this light fest, but it turned out the light fest was so terrible, so we just decided to get like coffee and a tea, and you know, she felt bad that I was paying for everything, so I'm like, hey, you know what, I guess, you know, just pay for the coffee and tea, and she wanted to anyway, so she felt guilty that I was paying for everything, so she really wanted to help pay for something. You know, and that's another good quality I liked about her too. I mean, for me, I'm a guy. I don't mind covering for stuff. I really don't. I just feel like that's my job as a guy. And then as you get to know the person, then it reciprocates back and forth. You know? Yeah. Because if it's just a one-way street, then there's probably something wrong. Yeah, and then after that, then I wanted to show her a spot that I go to on my own. Like, it's like my thinking spot. I only go to it once in a blue moon. I don't ever always go to it all the time. It's only like when my mind is seriously occupied with something I have no answers to, or I'm really down, or I don't know. It's the Scarborough Bluffs, like the top. There's a ridge on the top. You can just overlook the entire lake, you know. You can see Oshawa, you can see Hamilton and Burlington and Mississauga. Auschwitz. I wanted to show her, but it was too damn cold, and she gets cold, and that's fine. So we just went to like the bottom part of the parking lot, and then, I mean, and this is private, but like one thing led to another, and you know, we got really close there, and we really enjoyed the moment that we had there, and then we went back to my place because she wanted to squeeze the cat that's here, because the cat is like, looks really squishable.
It doesn't look like a squishy kid.
Right.
Like,
and I was telling her like how damn soft the fur is. Like, the fur is so fucking soft, man. I'm telling you, it's therapeutic. It cures depression, really. just the cat's fur cures depression. And when she felt the cat, she's like, oh, he's such a chunk, and it feels so good. And then one of my friends got to meet her, and then the mother that has the place here where I'm staying, she got to meet her. And then, but just before that, like, I would have the car parked just near the apartment, and, you know, I was sitting in the front, and I was waiting for my friend to come because he wanted to meet her and, you know, show the cat to her. So, okay, we waited like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And in that time, you know, she got up out of her seat and she laid on my lap, and I would cradle her head, and she was just smiling and, you know, holding kind of me close with her her arms on my shirt and stuff, and cradled in. And then it's just, like I said, those moments to me, those things, you just don't fake those moments. You just don't fake them. If you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And she was happy about it. She was smiling. Like, I can see her smile. It was real.
Yeah, that is fake.
Right? It's not fake. And it's not hard for me to see something that's fake. Right? So I know she felt something. I know there's something there. Otherwise, why would you even do it? Even if you come up with an excuse, there's still something that you did that made you feel that way to do it. Right? So I look back at all these like little moments, and it's like they're going somewhere. Then after that the second date, it was probably about a week. Then I started feeling like she started to become more distant. She wasn't talking to me as much. We literally said, I used to say good morning, good night all the time. She used to say good morning all the time. And then that started to slow down. Then there were times where I wouldn't hear for a whole day, or she'd send me 1 or 2 messages in a day. And I was like really wondering, like, what is going on? What happened? And knowing my stubborn self, like, I want to see if there's something I can help with, because I can feel there's something's not going right. And so I didn't want to do it where I was pressuring her. You know, I don't want to pressure her because we're still building something, and I don't want to impose. But my nature is to say, I want to help in any way I can, right? And I just felt something was off, and it was hurting me because, like, I didn't want to see her hurt. And that's when I started to have more connection with her, because I can see she's going through some pain. I didn't know what it was or what's going on. She did say something it might have had to do with her family, and then she did say it's accumulation of a bunch of things that she needs to sort out. Like, she needs to sort out her own shit and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I understand that. But then the feeling just got worse and worse and worse for me. And I was thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, I can feel the energy she's giving off even from this far of a distance. I can feel that she is not feeling good today, which is what's making me not feel good today. Like, when you start to get to know somebody, you can start feeling the energy they give off, even when you're not with them.
That's worse, when they don't, like, want to tell you what's wrong, and then you start having all these, like, doubts.
Yeah.
All this other shit going through your head. That is absolutely the worst.
It's
in like, that scenario, you just try to level with it and be like, just be honest with me.
Yeah, I wanted to do it in a way where, like, I wasn't pressuring her, because I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable with me. I wanted to create something for her that I'm not like, you know, every other guy. I'm somebody you can really open up to. You can trust. You can rely on. That's because that's what I want to be in my life. I want to be somebody everybody can rely on, everybody can trust. If I make a promise, I keep it. If my word is absolute. Of course, there's flexibility and balance in that, but like, I wanted to give off a part of myself that showed her that, you know, there are really good guys out there. There is such thing as a good person. There is such thing as somebody wholesome. And that's literally what I want to be. I want to be somebody that people can talk to. They can, you know, they can open up to their problems. They can tell me anything they want, because I'm not going to be biased about it. I'm not going to be judgmental about it. I'm going to help you in the best way I can through it. So I thought mainly it had to do with her family. And
sorry, I'm laughing because I literally just yawned and farted at the same time. Just like the yawn triggered the fart. Like, it just forced, like, triggered it.
You just inhaled all the air that pushed up the fart.
It just you know, I was like mid yawn too. You know when you're mid yawn and then you toot, and it's like it just You
Oh,
can't help but laugh.
those are those nice ones, you know, that create like a little pinhole in your seat of black.
It wasn't even. It was a little toot. That was just a tiny little toot. It was like. I was like.
um. Okay. So, where was I anyway? If you can distract me with your toot.
I'm sorry, I distract you with my ass.
I
You're
just
talking about like.
completely lost it.
Okay, you're talking about how.
Oh, her
something's
family,
up
family,
her
yeah.
family. Yeah.
Yeah, so, anyways, she was talking about some of their stuff in the family. And then I also found that she dropped her credit card in the car, so I was holding on to it, and I had to give it back to her at some point. So, but then when she's feeling more and more down, I just got this bad feeling inside, like, what is actually going on? It's like, everything felt so good up until now, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I feel like shit. Did I do something wrong? Like, it was playing on my head.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I
did
mean
do something
when
wrong?
people suddenly become distant from you. I hate that when chicks do that. Which is why if I'm ever in that scenario, I sit them down and I'm like, please just be honest with me because my mind is gonna wander, and to be frank, it's killing me. I'd rather just
Yeah, that's
you
what was
be
happening
honest
to
with
me. My mind was wandering. I didn't want it to wander too far, but it was wandering to the point where like I had no idea. So I just did what I acted from my heart, and I just told him like, you know, I'm here for you. Like, if you want to talk to me about it, you know, just be open with me. You can trust me. And but then the feeling was getting worse and worse, and I told her, I'm like, well, you know, I hope I didn't ruin anything. Like, if I did anything wrong, you know, I thought it was me for also. Like, I thought I was the problem. Like, you know, am I the problem? And she told me, she's like, no, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't ruin anything. You know, you're very sweet and everything. And it's just, I'm dealing with something that directly affects us, meaning me and her. So I'm like, what is that? And
But yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like if it involves you, you want to know. Otherwise, your mind is still gonna wander. It's gonna torment you.
Yeah. So I did end up saying, why don't you give me a call on the phone? She's like, I will. Just give me a minute. And so eventually, we talked on the phone, and then she told me everything. And there were probably times on the phone call that maybe felt awkward, or that maybe felt bad, or things that I maybe asked that didn't feel the best thing to ask. But I was now put in a position that made me feel so bad, because I actually didn't do anything wrong, and it was on her end that she told me that she had to tell me because she felt really shitty about it and really terrible, and that she told me that she was still heads over heels for another person. Right, and this other person she knows she can't have. You know, there's a 14-year age difference. She's 20 and he's 34. And she's telling me about it, and she's saying things like, he's still with his girlfriend, his original girlfriend before he met me. He got back together with her. He wants to settle down because he said.
Right, I know exactly what you're going through because I had the same thing happen to me. There was this chick I really liked. I was like super into her, and I could tell like she was into me. And then we're going out for like a while, but then while I was going out with her, she was actually like just recently off a break up with her ex, and her ex was like a piece of shit that cheated on her too, but she still had like feelings for him. And yeah, I was in that scenario where it's like I knew something was up, but she wouldn't tell me. She would just like distance herself, and that shit would kill me.
It was killing me, man.
I hate that.
And it's still killing me now because it's not even done from there. So she's telling me about it, right? And of course, I know she was hesitant to say so because I know she doesn't want to hurt me, but she also knows like the position I'm in now. You know, I'm in a position where like I feel bad, not just for myself but for her, because I know the feeling of what it's like to be heads over heels for somebody. Right? And I told her I'm not gonna say I disrespect that and like, oh, F you. No, I never said any of those things. I told her, I'm like, as much as it hurts me to hear that, really, really damn fucking hurts me. I told her I still respect it because I can't control what she feels for people. It's not in my control. I can't control that. And then she was saying, she knows nothing's ever going to happen with him, even though she's still hopeful about it. She knows she's with this guy's with the other girl, even though she says that he's not happy with her. She's telling me that the guy couldn't let go of the fact of the big age difference.
Yeah.
That he wants to settle down, he wants to like probably have a family or something, but she doesn't. I know that Ali, she doesn't want to have kids, maybe ever. I don't know. That might change as she gets older. But right now, no, she doesn't. She doesn't, and I know
See, for me,
her
that would
age,
have
she
been
doesn't
the
want to
red
settle.
flag. It's like,
Yeah, but people change, you know. And when I
Yeah.
was younger, I didn't want to have kids.
yeah.
Now I'm older.
Like,
I
people
have
say
a
that when
change
they're
of
young
mind.
because they follow all these like feminist trends and stuff, but then
But I
Yeah,
don't
when
know,
you get
that's,
older-
that's the thing.
when you get
know.
older, it's like
You don't know. Things change when you get older. A lot of things change, and
you
especially
realize how like fulfilling can really be.
So, she's telling me about this, saying that she knows nothing's ever going to happen, even though she's hopeful about it. And then she told me that after the second date, that he messaged her saying, from a text message saying, "Oh, you know, I passed this important test. You want to come out and celebrate with me?" So she went with it. And when she said that she met him, it just rekindled all those emotions that she had for him. Like right away. And she told me that it was only recently that they weren't seeing each other from December. So it's not that long ago. But then she also put herself in a position to go see this person again, knowing that he's still with another girl and knowing, his perspective on everything. Although it is kind of selfish of him to do that,
Yeah.
knowing that she has these feelings for him still, and that he's with somebody, to force those feelings onto her again.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would do that. They said that they're friends, but you're never going to be friends. It's never going to happen. Friendship like that is never going to be friendship.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's going
It's
to
like
be
you
one
gotta
or
cut
the
it
other.
off. Yeah.
Right? That's why I gave her the example of what I had to do with my ex, because it was so damn hard, but I knew I had to do it. It broke me, but I knew I had to do it. I had to. Because it was killing me knowing that it's never going to happen, even though I try to convince myself that it will, or there's some sort of hope, or there's some sort of chance, but it just sometimes you got to bite your own tongue, and you got to take
So like, why
whatever
did
part
they
of your
break up
heart
in
is.
the first place? Those are also things like you have to take into account.
She said that to him, like, the age difference was such a big deal to him.
Yeah.
Right? Because he doesn't want to be with somebody with 14-year age difference.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you were 34, 35 years old,
Yeah.
and you're with somebody who's like 19, 20 years old,
Yeah.
you want to settle down, and you have your own things in your
And
life
they don't,
you want
yeah.
it, and they don't. But
That's-
but there's a connection, right? I'm not
Yeah.
saying there's not a connection, but the factor of
That
two
goes back
opposing-
to what we were talking about earlier. Is looking yourself from third person perspective. That's one thing she has to do is now just look at herself from third person perspective. Is this person right for me? Do our interests align, or do our like values align? And if the answer is no, then you have to make the hard sacrifice.
And I wasn't gonna ask too many details about the guy, because like that's her private story, that's her privacy, and I'm not gonna force that out. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I already knew that as soon as she was talking to me on the phone and telling me this stuff, it was hard for her too, because she was telling me things like you're somebody I care about and I don't want to hurt. Like she hesitated with this, but she says I like you, and then she paused. Like she paused and said I like you, and then she says I like you as a person. Meaning she's probably saying that just so that she can keep that distance. She doesn't want to hurt me. Because I'm not kidding, dude. From the moments we spent together, like there was a connection. Maybe I'm just blind and it's just my way of seeing it, but your actions and the way you express yourself to another person, those don't lie. They don't.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think it's a lie, from what you mentioned. But it's one of those things where it kind of happened while she still has feelings for someone else.
Yeah.
And she sort of dragged you into this mess now, and now she doesn't know what to do.
So, knowing me and my past experiences, usually I would just cut people off from that point.
Yeah.
I would just cut you off, and I'd be like, hey, as soon as something like this happens, it's like, you're gonna save yourself from all this turmoil inside and just kind of move forward, knowing that you're still going to have to deal with that turmoil, not knowing what's going on anymore, not having any communication with that person anymore, and you're just going to have to fight through it. But I never took the approach of something different. And this is what I was talking to her on the phone. I told her, because I wanted to be that person I want to represent to people around the world. Like I've told you about my big goals in my life. I want to help people around the world.
Yeah.
So how the hell are you going to help somebody if you just always block off that line of communication with everyone that you don't have a solid connection with?
Yeah.
Right. So I want to do something different. So apparently she still has feelings for me. She says I'm very super sweet, and then she told me, she's like, and she expressed, she's like, the time I spent with you is fucking amazing. You're an amazing person. Like, I love spending that time with you. Like, the way she expressed it is like she was real about it. But then she's now conflicted.
Yeah.
She put herself in a terrible position by seeing that person again. Already.
No, she absolutely did, and it's like the whole scenario with Rudy. Like, is it ever gonna work out for him with that chick? Probably not. They're gonna keep going through the same thing over and over until it ends badly.
And even now, like, even Rudy told me that Heba found out that me and Rudy were hanging together. Well, I'm sorry, Heba. He's been my best friend since junior kindergarten. That's like 22 years of friendship, and you're telling him that he can't see me. Right? That apparently Rudy seeing me is disrespecting her.
Goodness.
Okay. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But I mean, I can't force anybody to do what they need to do. I told her that she has to figure out what she needs to do, and I was just giving her.
You definitely told her in the right manner.
Right. I told her that I'm still here. I still want to get to know you. I would still like to see you. But she told me, it's like, well, she's gonna have to take like a break from dating, and she wants me to become more friendly, not like dating in a sense. But then she also told me, like, when she's with me in person, it's different. That's probably also why she doesn't want to see me right away, because maybe if she sees me again, it's gonna put her back in that feeling of what we were like when we were dating.
Yeah.
Right. And it'd be hard for her as well to do that, because she knows that she has conflicting feelings for someone else, and that she knows that she probably had feelings for me too, and she doesn't want that to conflict and hurt me. So I mean, I can understand the responsibility in that. It's just, it kills me because
I know I've been in the exact same situation. It sucks.
It felt so real.
Yeah.
And when I don't hear from her, it kills me. Yeah. When I do, it's like it fixes everything. And I can understand that's probably what she's feeling with that guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's
right. So I told her, look, I'm not going to be like everyone else. I said, if you want somebody to lean on, I can be that person for you. If you want somebody to open up to and anything you want, I can be that person. I will be here for you. Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, we took all this time to go out, to get to know each other, to get really close. Why in the world should I stop that? But of course, I need to have a level of balance with her now because of what's happened. Right? I can't just push her to do things she doesn't want to anymore. It sucks.
At the end, it's it's her decision. She has to do what she believes is right for her.
I can't force it.
But you could always suggest, from I guess an objective, non-biased point of view, you can tell her she has to decide what will be better for herself. And like I said, the whole third-person perspective, she has to analyze, will it ever work out with him again?
Well, she told me that.
Do your values align, or is it time to move on?
Well, she even said to me, like, she says she knows nothing's gonna happen, and she already came to terms with that. That's what she told me. But she says she still has possible hope.
Yeah, but she has possible hope, so therefore she didn't come to terms with it.
Yeah, so she hasn't come to terms with it.
That means she hasn't fully come to terms. She's sort of lying to herself.
Yeah. But I guess people can see lying as better as completely admitting to it, right? Because it's easier to lie to yourself.
The issue is she still has contact with him, right?
Yeah. That's
that's one of the major issues. Yeah.
right? And
It's like
she
as long as she still has contact with him, that kind of like little hope is always gonna be there. So at that point, she has to.
She says she's not ready to let that go.
It's something she has to. It's it's the whole like philosophy of sacrifice. Like in life, we always have to sacrifice something today for the better of tomorrow. Like even like, for example, work. Work is always a sacrifice. Why? Because it betters the quality of your life tomorrow.
Yeah. Otherwise,
It's the same thing with that thing. She has to really like think tough. If she, what does she gain in the future if she sacrifices that?
Me, I don't know. That's up to her to think about, right?
Yeah.
And which sucks to me is because, say if she does get over it and
Yeah.
she does come to terms finally with it, how long is that going to take? How long down the road?
Yeah.
Right?
And the worst part is you're left hanging the entire time too. So it's like you don't want to give the person ultimatum either,
Yeah.
and you don't want to hang around too long because then you're kind of the one who's hung with the hope.
Yeah. So.
And the longer you wait, the worse it kind of gets.
And it hurts me is because
Yeah.
what I'm dealing with is the fact that I have not had a connection like this since over 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Never. I have not. This is the first
Yeah.
time. And I have been on dates before. I have been on multiple dates before, but nobody has given me that feeling that I lost a long time ago until I met her. Well, start to see her.
Yeah.
Right. And then started building and building and building. And I thought, like, is this like some miracle? Like, is this real? Like, this feels so good. Like, I felt like all my burdens in my life were gone. I felt like everything, just disappeared. So, yeah, and then she was telling me more stuff, like, and I would ask her questions because I know she's not going to go out of her way to say these things. So, and I do it anyways. I'm the person that asks things regardless. So, I was asking, like, well, how do you see us? Do you still see something down the road? She's like, well, she doesn't know. She says she can't promise anything, and she says she doesn't know, and she said, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. Right? And then I would say, well, I'd still like to get to know you. I said, I mean, would you still like to get to know me? Would you still like to, like, see each other or such? She's like, yeah, we can do that. Like, it's like, I don't mind, like, in terms of seeing each other, right? And she's like, oh, like as a friend date, like, is it just, seeing what's up, no kissing, like, and then she said it in like a cute way, like a cute voice, in a cute manner, like, not like the way she was explaining everything else.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like she still wants to have a connection with me. I don't know if it's because now she's thinking, oh, it's because I hurt him, so I don't want to just let go and ditch him and feel like a complete asshole about it, or because of what we had, whatever that was. She doesn't want to let go because she knows nothing's going to happen with this guy, even though she's hoping for it. I don't know. See, these are things I don't know.
Yeah, it's a gamble.
It's a big gamble.
It's a gamble.
So I'm thinking,
like, generally, I don't know, if someone has like feelings for someone else still, that's not something that like goes away.
No, I know. So
just magically, the only way it goes away is she cuts off contact with him and then gives herself time to like heal. Depending on how long they were together, that'll determine how long it's gonna take to get over.
Like, for me, for instance, when my ex got in a relationship with that guy, it was really quick. It was really soon. Like, it was almost like a week after we broke off, and now she's telling everyone that she's with this guy now.
Yeah.
Like, that killed me, seeing her with another person. And I couldn't give a shit about him. If I saw him, I would have fucking broke his legs, put him in a hospital.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a fuck. But I have that other side of me saying, no, that's wrong. And I
just be the better man.
I had to be the better man and say, you know what? If this is what she wants, this is what she's feeling, like, no matter how much I'm going to fight for it, it's probably not going to end up working, because the reason why she went with this other person is because she sees something in them that maybe she saw in me, which, whatever that connection might be, she chose to go with them anyway. That was her choice. Whether it was right or wrong, that's not up to me. Right? That's her choice. So I told myself, like, oh, this fucking sucks, but I have to understand the fact that I have to respect the fact that that's her choice. I can't change it. I can't force it to be different. Right? So that's when I had to make the decision to cut her off completely. Because seeing her with this other guy made me want to go on a rampage. I just want to fucking knock somebody. I just want to fight anybody. Physical pain did not feel like it hurt me at all. I actually punched through a wooden door and I got wood splinters in my fists. And thank goodness I didn't like fuck anything important up. I had to pull it out. I probably needed stitches, but I didn't do it. And I didn't feel the pain. It didn't hurt. All I felt was inside. It's like the same fucking pain I'm feeling now about her. It's like something that felt like a magic, and then next thing you know, it's gone, or mostly gone. And that pattern you had about being able to talk to her about anything, being open with her, making these funny, cute jokes, being cute with her, ask her, you know, when you're free next, and then actually being okay with going to see her. Now it's like I feel like I have to be so careful with what I say.
Yeah, you have to feel like you got to be more reserved now because you don't want to put your cards in anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, I have to be so fucking reserved, and it kills me.
Yeah, that's the worst thing because you were being reserved to begin with, but now it feels like you can put even less cards in, or none at all, because you don't know, right?
Yeah, and
you don't know the outcome.
She knows how.
You don't want to put. Yeah.
She already knows how I feel about her. Like she's completely aware of it. She told me on the phone. She's like, yeah, I already know like what you feel about me, and you feel strongly about me. Right? She couldn't admit like what she feels exactly about me, which is understandable. She's probably not going to say it on the phone.
Yeah.
She can think about whatever she needs to in her own mind. That's her own little world or realm or whatever you see that, just like everyone else has. I mean, of course, she says she's not going to just like tell somebody she likes them. She has to get to know them and see how she feels.
Yeah.
But it seems like the way she was with me, she felt something. Well, otherwise, why would you continue to keep doing it? Why would you want to go on a second date? Why would you go on a third date? Why would you want to go on a fourth date? Right? Why would you think about going on the 10th date and think about what we're going to do in the summertime, or what we're going to do in the spring to summertime? Like, you know, talking about, oh, you know, she can get permission to go to her cottage in Perry Sound, and then talking about, oh, we can go skydiving in the spring to summer, and she was okay with doing that. Like, we were already thinking about things that maybe we can do ahead of time. Like stuff like that, and then it just all changes.
Yeah. See, she's really like blinded by that. Like, she has to think like, what will make her happy in the end? Like, will going through that constant like stuff with the other dude make her happy, or
well, look,
was she happy with all the moments she had with you? Like, there's more to come if she chooses so.
The thing is, she doesn't know me at all.
Yeah.
She's started to get to know me, but she doesn't know me fully. I think it takes a good year to 2 years to actually get to know a big part of somebody.
Yeah.
Because if you spend that time with them, you start to talk with them, you actually start to see more and more things that you maybe never seen before, and then
I know it's such a hard scenario for you because it's like you don't feel like you want to invest anymore.
But then at the same time,
uncertain, but then if you feel like if you don't invest, then it's just gonna die. It's guaranteed to be nothing.
Yeah. And then that feeling I've had for somebody for the first time in 7 years, it's like, what, am I going to wait another damn 7 years? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the future's going to hold. It just sucks so damn much. It's like,
I just thought of something funny. Imagine if you brought this up and then asked for advice from Blake or Brent, or what kind of answers do you get? What kind of stupid...
Brent would be like, or something.
Yeah,
stuff.
like what
and
kind
of... Blake would try to sound like he's saying something, but it's pretty much the same thing I just said.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like totally what you just said.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, like yeah.
That's why I want to tell you, but that's why I don't mind telling you.
Yeah, that's why you want to tell me, because it's. He does that all the time, and I've been calling him out for it lately.
Maybe it's good. Maybe it shows him that there's
Yeah,
other
you know,
ways to learn.
because it shows you because that you're
Okay,
yeah.
Chris. Yeah.
Like
This is
actually,
how
that's what he
bad it is.
does, right?
Yeah.
Am I not right?
No,
Am I not wrong here?
you're
Like,
not wrong. You're not wrong, dude. No.
I love it, but he just keeps trying to like complete people's sentences when he doesn't even know what they're saying.
Oh, that's another good quality like her and I had. Is anytime
Oh
we
yeah,
make a
because
joke,
that quality is like
I'm gonna
whatever.
slap you, dude. Oh man,
We should get him in a call. I want to do it to him now.
Oh man, but yeah, no. Going back on the like, that was like another quality we had is like we would complete each other's jokes. Like it'd be rolling off. Like I'd make a joke and then she'd roll off of
Yeah.
it, and I'd roll off of it, and then it was just like it was like an amazing nonstop like thing we would
Yeah.
be able to do with one another. Like, and we could talk literally. We could talk about anything, and then we can be
Yeah.
silent, and it wouldn't feel awkward. And it's like you don't get those moments almost ever until a
Yeah.
good person or a right person comes around and that happens to you.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't know, she's infatuated with the other guy. She's blinded. It's like, I don't know. Either choose the same old, and it's probably not going to work out, and it hasn't worked out in the past.
But I wanted to
Well,
try something I've never done.
or yeah,
Right.
or go towards that new door that opens. You don't know what it's going to be either, but you know that it's not the same old, right?
Yeah.
That's what she has to choose.
I mean, the thing that I want to try here is something
Yeah.
I've never done before, and it's, of course, I guess it's a gamble. It's a big risk. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, it's something I could be hurting myself over because knowing that maybe it may never happen, whatever.
What
But
the hell?
it's
Google update. Go away.
it's a chance. I feel like my gut feeling is telling me to do this. I don't know why, but it's telling me to do this because I feel
Mhm.
like if I cut it off, it's something I'm gonna regret doing.
Yeah.
Just like right around the time I met her, it's like my gut feeling was telling me to take a chance, whether it's gonna be easy or difficult,
Yeah.
right? And
At least you can say you tried. You actually tried.
I feel like if I don't do what I'm doing now, I haven't tried,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So what I'm trying to do is show that I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm not here as I was before, like every day. Like I'm probably gonna be a bit more distant, but I'm still
Yeah.
here. I'm still me. I'm still myself. I'm still gonna be myself with her, just not as much as I was before, but at the same level,
Yeah.
in a way. Show her that, you know what, I'm not like a guy that just abandons you, and I respect the fact that you might have feelings for another guy, but you're also conflicted with those feelings, which is why I'm still here. Not because I'm taking advantage of your conflicted feelings. Like, we were already going out, we were already seeing each other, so I'm not doing it because, you know, I haven't gone out with you yet, and now this new information came up, and now I want to push it even more. No, I'm doing it where I value the connection we had, and I'm not just gonna abandon you when you feel hurt, even though you're heads over heels for somebody.
Yeah.
I want to show that I'm still a guy you can trust. I'm still somebody you can lean on. I'm somebody you can still talk to, even if you are going through this hardship, even if you are dealing with these issues and you feel bad about maybe putting me in this position. But just because you put me in this position,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that, you know, I don't like you anymore. I'm just gonna just say F you and bye. No, I want to be somebody different. I want to be somebody that, yeah, I might have to start from the very scratches again because of what happened, but to show that I'm still here, I'm still act from my heart, I'm still gonna be somebody that comes from passion and kindness, right? I'm not gonna jeopardize anything or hurt you or ruin anything. And it also gives her the chance to show from the very details of everything about who I am. If she's still okay with getting to know me, if she's still okay with seeing me here and there, however that might turn out, she can still get the chance to get to see things about me she still hasn't seen yet. And maybe those things that she sees in me, because she decided to see me for a while anyway, so there was something that she liked that she kept seeing. So I'm thinking, like, well, she doesn't know fully who I am. She doesn't know me at all, really, but she knows, you know, She still knows quite a bit, but she doesn't know everything, of course. It's the same thing back to her. I don't know everything, but I still know things about you because we started to create that history. And I want to show her, I'm like, you know, maybe over time, as I'm still here, and I'm not going to abandon you because of whatever happened, but still be genuine about the way I am with you, where it doesn't put you at uneasy or whatever, that there might be things about me you haven't seen yet that might click to you, right? And that click to you might be something of like, oh, this is something I've never experienced. This is something in a person I've never seen before, and maybe that might build a more of attraction, and more of a connection between the two of us, where it can actually help her let go of the things she's going through. And it's not me trying to take advantage. I don't want to ever take advantage of anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
Right? That's where I'd actually cut them off, because I know myself. If I were to take advantage of someone's feelings, it's actually when I'll cut that off completely, because I don't want to hurt people. The last thing I want to do is hurt somebody. I will never start seeing somebody if I'm with somebody. First of all, I will never do that. If somebody is with another person, I will never come between that. That's another thing I won't ever do. Right?
That's one of my golden rules too. It's like if I just came off something as well, I would never bring anyone else in, because I know I need time to heal my shit together first.
But there are examples like my ex where even though we just broke up, she's with this person and she's still with that person to this day, 7 years later. So things like that can work out. Like, it could be hard at the start, you know, you still might have some conflicts about the feelings for the person you just started seeing because you had a good connection with another person. Yeah. And I know it might be hard for another, you know, someone like in position.
It can, no, that's the thing, like, it can work out, but it's the same as, like, gambling the lottery. Like, it can happen. Yeah. But the thing is, it's just unlikely and it's not recommended.
I know, it's not recommended, it's not happening, it is like a lottery, it's a gamble. But the thing is, my ex chose to take the chance to slowly get to know this new person. I know it hurts me, but she chose to get to know this new person. And look, 7 years later, they're still together. Yeah. So sometimes it does work. And I'm not saying like, oh, that's the only example I'm using in order to get close with her, with that with Allie. No. I'm just saying, like, that's why I told her, I said, maybe take a chance. Even if it's at a snail's pace. Maybe take a chance in something you haven't done before, right? I'm still here, you know. You already know.
Take a chance, don't fully invest. That's all you can do. Right. And just have, like, the back of your mind, expect, you know, it may not work out.
Yeah, I mean, that is in the back of my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Every day. I wake up, the first thing that comes into my mind is her. The first thing that leaves it is at the end of the night, and throughout the day, it's just the same thing, but in many different ways. So that's the situation I'm in right now. So, I mean, I haven't been the greatest the past couple of days, but I haven't fallen into a bad pattern. Like, I'm not eating junk food. I'm still eating relatively healthy. I'm not eating as much, but I'm still eating. I'm not just going out and just fucking around and doing stupid shit. Like, I'm still have a level of control over what I'm doing.
That's good. You want to keep that?
Yeah. Like, I'll go maybe walk to a park. I'll go outside. I'll go for a walk, or I'll do some squats and sit-ups or push-ups, or...
Yeah. Okay, keep doing the things you do, because even if things go sour, at the end of the day, that's the stuff that will, like, help you get over it, right? Yeah. So you never want to enter, like, a self-destructive phase like some people do.
Dude, just having the idea of something like this can just never come back again. It's torment. It's just utter torment. Yeah. Right, and then I just wish life was so much more simple, but I know it's not, and it sucks. Right? I know what I would do in her situation, but I'm not gonna force that on her. And of course, you know me, I'm not gonna say that just so I can take advantage of it. Like, I genuinely care about what people feel. You know, I care about what people go through. Yeah. Those are my virtues, those are my values in life. I want to care about the people. I want to care about, you know, their stories. I want to hear what they do. I want to hear what they say. I want to take that information, take that experience, and translate it into advice and wisdom down the road. Right? Because I just want to help people. I genuinely want to help people. I know I can't right now, but I can still do it in minor ways if I can.
Yeah.
Right? Even if it's just with words and talking about it. But that's what I say. With her, I just want to take a chance. I want to see if she would still be willing to get to know me, because there might be things about me that she's never seen and she likes.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe that liking part is something that might spark something in her that she hasn't had before. Right? And then maybe that spark will help, I don't know, get rid of this built up feeling she had for this person, because she said that she had like this love affair with him. I don't know how long. I don't think it lasted that long. I think it was a very short love affair.
Yeah.
But they apparently went to college or university together, and they started off as friends. The relationship was probably short and not that long, but they probably built it up through friendship. So I can understand there's a history there. And maybe that history is something she doesn't want to let go of. And she says that this guy knows so much about her that it freaks her out. Right? That connection there is what she's holding on to.
That's the thing, because she's only 20, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, she still has a lot to learn about like people and connections and all that kind of stuff. Because, like, an example would be, I guess, a former best friend of mine, right? Like, at the time, you know, that dude's my best friend, but you come to learn over time, it's like that person's not right for you to hang with, I guess, so to speak. You guys are just like two different. Like, he was the type that, you know, loved to go like clubbing and stuff, and he liked like pop music and all this kind of stuff and chasing skirts. And I was like the complete opposite. Like, he was a dummy and I was more of an intellectual, I guess. It's just like you're interested in line, and whether it comes to like friendship or even like a relationship, same values is the most important thing. It's more important than anything.
Yeah.
You have to have the same values, otherwise it's not gonna work. The
That's
whole
the
crap
thing,
where they
like-
say opposites attract, that's complete bullshit.
Well, if I were to say something on that, like, we do have a lot in common. There are some qualities that are complete opposite. But the thing is, when I look at it, her opposites balance out my weaknesses.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that scenario is fine, but I'm talking about like
Like,
opposites.
oh yeah, when they completely
like
clash.
say
like,
you're conservative and she's a liberal. It's like,
yeah,
that's
just
not gonna work.
yeah.
Say you're very against abortion, she's pro-abortion. That's also gonna put a wedge, because that is gonna come up at some point, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
And,
say she accidentally does get pregnant or something, and then she wants to abort it, and you're extreme, that would crush you. Like, if you're really against it, like.
Yeah. True.
These are really important things. Same with I would say religion as well. Religion's a very important one, because religion ties into like your kind of values.
Yeah. And you know, even if I have a strong religious belief, which my religious belief is not like what everyone else's.
Yeah.
My religious belief is the fact that like the origin of religion to me comes from the heart, like the purest essence of the heart. And what does that even mean? To me, means being selfless. You know, going out of your way to help, to advise, to give wisdom.
Yeah.
To be completely selfless in everything that you do for other people. And then that
For me,
is what reciprocates, right? The reciprocation factor is what creates that balance.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, for me, I am Catholic, but I guess my take is a little bit different from some other Catholics, because they believe like, oh, why did God let this happen, or why did God let this happen? For me, my perspective is like, life is pretty much one big test to see if you're pretty much worthy to go to heaven or not. Anything that comes in front of you is an obstacle. It's an obstacle to make you stronger. The giver of the test will never give you the answers.
Yeah.
That's what a test is. It's up to you to find those answers yourself. And if you're faced with hardship and adversity, at the end of the day, if you still don't fall from grace and still remain a good person, you are worthy.
Like that, you know.
So that's the way I always view it.
Maybe I'm somebody that offered her advice or things that she couldn't figure out that nobody else had. Like, for instance, gave her an example of me saying that I was fully in love with my ex, which was a long time ago, but I had to make that hard decision of cutting them off. Maybe she hasn't heard that from anyone before to relate on the same note.
Yeah.
Because it helps sometimes when you hear something very similar to from another person and what they did that worked, right? Because otherwise other people just maybe don't know how to give proper advice.
Yeah.
So, and maybe with me, she's felt something different that she hasn't felt with other people, but then she still compares it to the person that she had feelings for.
I ain't gonna lie, most people give terrible advice.
Yeah. I can understand. I can see people, like, especially girls, they'll be, oh, fuck that guy, he's an asshole, just get rid of him. But the girl has such strong feelings for the person, and these friends of theirs don't understand.
Yeah, they'll just give, like, what they think feel good towards them, and not what's actually best for the person kind of advice.
And in this scenario...
That's why I say, like, people like Brent and Blake would just give the worst advice ever.
Like, in this scenario, for me, I actually haven't done anything wrong. I was just following my heart. That's all I was doing. But she knows that she was doing something, maybe, but then she took it to a point where she felt really bad, and now she's trying to figure out what she can do with it.
Yeah.
Right? Which I understand, you know? But that's why I don't want to cut it off.
Yeah. It was a little selfish on her part, too.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell her that.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I'm sure she's smart enough to know what her actions are. I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not like telling her, "Oh yeah, I blame you for it." I'm not going to be that person. I don't need to tell somebody something that's pretty obvious, because it's
like,
just
it happens. Her feelings were genuine, but it's like.
And another thing is, like, before we started talking, she said she got on a few dates before with some guys, but it was only a one night, like one evening thing. Like, they had dinner and then they just separated. Like, she didn't feel anything. She just, as a joke, said, "Oh, I got a free dinner out of it," right? But then I asked her, like, you know, what was the difference with me? Why is it that you wanted to keep seeing me over and over again? Right? Why is it that you chose to keep in contact with me, talk with me every day, get to know me, and then get close to me in person? But what was different with me than everyone else?
Like I said, she's 20, and that's like that age where she still doesn't have it all figured out.
But I'm not gonna lie, and coming from me, it does mean like something. Cause I'm not a stupid guy. She does act like she's 24, like 25 years old. She does have that maturity level. She does.
Yeah, she has a maturity level, but she doesn't have the wisdom. Yeah.
She has. She's a smart girl. She's a smart girl. She does have a big heart. She does want to help people in her life. Yeah. That's why she does work in a funeral home. She wants to help people through these crises and their emotions. Yeah. Like, I love that about her. She has a lot of similar virtues and values I do and I hold in my life. And we also went through similar situations in our childhood. Besides, I don't know what it's like to have a sibling die, but I do know what it's like to have a mother that passed away. Right? And I know what it's like to have people tell you to do this, this, and this, and then I know what it's like to be bullied and beat up and picked on, shunned from society, shunned in your school, have no friends. Like, I've told you all this stuff before, right? And come out to being who I am now from what I used to be. I used to be a kid that stole and like fight people and not give a shit. I didn't care about anybody, right? But then with this, I told myself, I'm going to fix it. I'm focusing on my work. I'm going to make an honest living. I want to get my business. I want to do things the right way. And when I started doing things the right way, I mean, not that I wasn't already doing things the right way, but there's still times with myself where, like, you need to keep yourself in check. You know, it's like, oh, are you going a little bit off this end, but you're elevating yourself on this end, right? It's like at times it's like, oh no, I'm not learning as much here, but I'm helping people here. That I need to slow down helping people here and relearn more stuff here so I can keep fluctuating the back and forth. So I noticed I started losing something, and I brought myself back on track. And as soon as I brought myself back on track, after about a month and a half, is when I met Ali. Right? And honestly, there's this thing in a movie, like it's called Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams. Yeah. Like, he says this.
Is that where you go to Goodwill and look for deals?
But there's this quote, right, that you know, in the movie. Actually, I kind of want to pull it up here. Good Will hunting I'm gonna read it out to you. Let's see here. This is the scene here. All right, Robin speaks to Matt Damon, who's really young in the film. He's like, so if I asked you about art, you'd probably give me the skinny on every art book ever written. Michelangelo. You know a lot about him. Life's work, political aspirations, him and the Pope, sexual orientations, the whole works, right? But I'll bet you can't tell me what it smells like in the Sistine Chapel. You've never actually stood there and looked up at that beautiful ceiling, seen that. And if I asked you about women, you'd probably give me a syllabus about your personal favorites. You may have been laid a few times, but you can't tell me what it feels like to wake up next to a woman and feel truly happy. You're a tough kid. And I'd ask you about war. You'd probably throw Shakespeare at me, right? Once more, unto the breach, dear friends. That was a quote from Shakespeare. But you've never been near one. You've never held your best friend's head in your lap, watched him gas his last breath, looking up for you to help, for your help. I'd ask you about love. You'd probably quote me a sonnet. But you've never looked at a woman and been totally vulnerable. Known someone that could just level you through her eyes, feeling like God put an angel on earth just for you. Who could rescue you from the depths of hell. And you wouldn't know what it's like to be her angel, to have that love for her, to be there forever, through anything, cancer. And you know what it's, and you wouldn't know about sitting up in a hospital room for 2 months, holding her hand, because the doctors could see in your eyes that terms visiting hours don't apply to you. You don't know about real loss, because it only occurs when you've loved something more than you've loved yourself. And I doubt you've ever dared to love anybody that much. Right? That, I would have to say that whole scene is my favorite scene in any damn movie I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Because it's so true. And
it goes to like what I said with why you wouldn't ask people like Blake or Brent for advice. It's because they don't have enough experience. They don't have the wisdom.
And the reason
in a lot of those areas.
Yeah, and the reason why I say that is because that's what I feel like with her. I'm not saying like I fell for her or anything like that. That's just it was out of my control. That's what I felt. It was out of my control. There's nothing I control about it. Yeah. Which is why this sucks so fucking much. Right. And it's like I tell you about it because I actually get a good honest answer. A good honest opinion and perspective from your point.
Good honest opinion with the occasional yawn fart. Right. With the side of yawn fart, yawn toot.
Because when I talk to everybody else, they give me the same thing I've heard from everyone else.
Yo, bro, just go on Tinder.
Maybe one of them gave me some okay advice, but the rest that he told me, I knew of it. I'm not being stubborn, but I knew it. But I come to you because you're actually smart. You'll actually have something valuable to tell me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
That's because those people are basic. Those people are basic. That's the issue. It's like they don't. Like myself, I listen to a lot of philosophy, which is, I guess, where I get a lot of my wisdom from. Plus experiences as well, right?
Yeah. Well, man, that's what's been going on the past.
Yeah.
And
I like psychology as well. Like, so not a lot of people can break down like psychology with like how people interact and act in a certain scenario.
And even in just last Thursday, not this one, but last Thursday, it was the last time I saw her. I had her credit card, and I asked her like, would you like me to mail it to you? Do you want me to hold on to it, or next time I see you? She's like, I finished at around 4:30. Finished around 4:30 that next day. I'm like, I can come down and I can come by, right? So she can come by, and I didn't really hear from her until the next day. But then she replied back. She's like, oh no, I'm sorry. I meant to reply back, but apparently I didn't get the message didn't send or something. I forgot to send it. So and then she's like, okay, no, I'm gonna come by. And I asked her like, well, I'm not gonna be done work till 5 o'clock, and I won't be home till around 5:30ish. I'd ask her, I was like, are you okay with waiting? She's like, no, I can wait. I have some time to kill. So she was willing to even wait for me to get home when she had nothing else to do, just to come by. I know she had to pick up her credit card, but she could have easily just discontinued her credit card, get a new one if she really wanted if she misplaced it.
Yeah.
If she really didn't want to see me, she could have just probably done that. Like,
Actually, I don't think someone would like go to that length.
What for?
Like, if they know the credit cards that somebody's that they know, like, I don't think they'd go that length still to like just get a new credit card.
No, I know. You never know with some people, because this was also the time where she was having really strong conflicting feelings about this guy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, she came here. You know, we saw each other. You know, we still kissed and everything, and I picked her up and I carried her over to the apartment. Right? She was okay to go to the apartment, and then we walked in. I introduced her to another friend of mine she hasn't met, and then we just went straight to the room here. And then she just plopped down on my bed and laid there because she was tired, right? And then she's making like these cute, like funny groaning sounds, like, like stuff like that, right? And so I sat beside her, and then she asked me to like cuddle with her. So I turned my body and I laid down and held her close, and then she would reach over, grab my arm, and pulled it close, and then she would cradle my arm as she was like feeling like she was at peace in that spot. Right? And then she would turn over and kind of look at me and smile and give me kisses here and there, and I would kiss her cheek and stuff like that. And it's like,
I'm telling you, she young, she young and no wisdom. Like people like that, it's like we're just going to loop now, but they really don't know what's actually best for them, and they can't look at it from an objective third person standpoint of view.
you know,
Like the advice I'd give her is like if it's not working out and has been working out, and if you know that you're gonna keep going through the same problem in a loop, it's time to end it.
That's what I want to tell her. But I know that if I were to tell her, I have to do it slowly now.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to tell her it's like that's the scenario, and you're not saying it like from a biased point of view because you like her. You're saying it because that's the objective truth.
That's like I want to see her again in person, because she knows herself. She says she's different on the phone than she is in person. And in person is where I think everything matters more, when you're actually talking to them face to face and being with them together. Like that matters a lot. So I'm giving her some time, but she's still okay with seeing me in person again.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna make me some herbal tea, some sleepy time tea.
Sorry, you don't know how lovely you are. I had to find you, tell you I need you, tell you I set you apart. Tell me your secrets and ask me questions. Oh, let's go back to the start. Running in circles, coming up tails, heads on a science apart. Nobody said it was easy. It's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said that it would be this hard. I'm going back to the start. guessing in numbers and figures, pulling the puzzles apart. In questions of science, science and progress do not speak as loud as my heart. So tell me you love me and come back and haunt me. Oh, and I rush to the start, running in circles, chasing a tail, coming back as we are. Nobody said it was easy. It's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said that it would be this hard. I'm going back to the start. No